Hello everybody, I hope that you're all super well today. My name is Claire and I'm going to talk to you about the 1111 portal 2022. So we have a portal coming up, 1111, and we've got another one coming up on the 12th of December 2022. And what I'm going to do is I want to talk about this portal, but I also want to take us back 11 years to talk about the 11-11-11 portal. That was a massive moment in time where we came together as a collective in order to envision what it was that we wanted to create for the future. So many spiritual and conscious communities 11 years ago came together around the globe to envision a new earth, to envision the future that it was that we all wanted, which was of love and peace and joy and abundance. And so we were doing this as a collective around the globe, and we were also doing this individually for ourselves. So what that meant was we were looking at what did we personally want to experience in our life? How was that in alignment with love and peace and joy and abundance? And so looking at all the areas of our life, really beginning to become a lot more clear in terms of what felt like it was in alignment with our soul at that time, and how were we going to manifest that in this new world that we were going into. Because around about that time, 11 years ago, 2011-2012, it was all this energy was being focused on, we're leaving one era and we're moving into another era on our earth. And so this is what we were doing. And of course, at that time, law of attraction was very popular. It had reached mainstream popular culture. And so many people were really learning how to do this for themselves and doing it in a conscious and aligned way in order to make changes for themselves. So fast forward 11 years, we are now at the portal 11-11-22. And so if we look back over the 11 years that we've just had, both personally and as a collective, we can see what has transpired in our world over the last 11 years and where we were before then and where we're at now. So let's say as a collective, I'm going to talk about the collective first before I move on to individual. As a collective, if we were wanting to manifest love and peace and joy and abundance and be in alignment with all that was truthful and of a higher nature, a higher consciousness, what was going to happen with any type of law of attraction, what happens is if you're here and where you're wanting to get to is there, you're going to need to go through the layers that were preventing you from experiencing there, okay? So we unpeel until eventually we get to actually the manifestation of what it is that we were really wanting to bring into our life. And so as a collective, if that's what we were coming together to envision at the time, what would have happened is, and what is happening is, it would have had an effect like a wave that moves outwards, like a sound wave. If you imagine a sound wave moving outwards into the air, like a pebble that is dropped into an ocean, and then it creates a ripple effect outwards. This creates this ripple effect outwards of all these minds coming together, creates this ripple effect outwards of this is what we're wanting, but it has to knock away everything that is not in alignment with that, or at least it has to show us what's not in alignment with that. And so we're going to begin to experience what seems like the opposite to the very thing that we're wanting to experience. But it's not really that it's opposite. It's more like it's just the wounds that are being revealed that are preventing us from experiencing that thing. So when the wound arises, when this wound of separation, because all wounds are really a wound of separation and disconnection. When this wound of separation and disconnection arises, it's very important not to judge it. And it's very important not to then go, oh, we need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of that, because we want the opposite. Because the problem with that is then you become that very thing that you're wanting to get rid of. So anytime that this wound of separation arises in our world as a collective, and of course we can see that in, you just need to turn on the news to see that the entire world is going through a mass soul loss. We're going through a collective soul loss, where it's being revealed where we are not connected to the soul, where we are not connected to one. And that's going to show up in all sorts of ways, like drought, from the weather system to famine, to war, to rape, to any form of power struggle is going to reveal that there is a separation wound there. And so the important thing is to recognize these things when they come up as a collective, not judge them, see them, see why they are there, revealing to you the opposite, or the wound that is covering up the very thing that you're wanting, and then still retaining your awareness and your energy, your heart, your truth with that which you are still wanting. So to still maintain that sense of, let's say it was joy and peace and love and abundance that you wanted, still maintaining that when these seemingly opposite vibrations are revealing themselves to us. And so everything is perfect. And I know that might trigger some people. Everything is perfect. Everything that's happening in our world right now is perfect, because if what we wanted to do was move towards this Garden of Eden, this new earth, well, it would have been really naive of us to believe that we would have been able to get there without having to experience the woundings that were in the place, preventing us from experiencing that in the first place, right? So that's a little bit of information around what's going on, I feel, that's coming through to me, what's going on in our world as a collective. And in particularly over the past 11 years, because we all came together in such a wild, magnificent, conscious way around the 11-11-11, that then sent that ripple effect outwards into the world like waves that then begin to reveal everything that's not in alignment with that, right? So that is what I feel happened. That's something that came through to me when I was just writing and channeling the other day around my own life and around manifestation. And then I was taken into, well, actually, in order to look at your own life, you have to look at what's going on as a collective as well. So if that is what is going on in the collective, of course, it's going on inside of us as well, and because we are a reflection, the collective, the outer reflects the inner, and obviously the inner reflects the outer. So everything out there is actually internal as well. All the wars, all the famine, all the rapes, all that negative, seemingly negative energy outside of ourselves is a reflection somehow of our own internal landscape. So, which brings me to individual manifestation and how this affects us. And if you look back to 11-11-11, have a look at what you were wanting to call into your life at the time. If you are somebody who wasn't necessarily consciously working with the law of attraction or manifestation at the time, or you weren't on your spiritual path yet, this would have affected you anyway, because what I was talking about earlier, that collective consciousness coming together to create change, it would have affected everybody, whether you're conscious or unconscious of it. So, but if you were somebody that was coming and you were thinking about what it was that you wanted to experience in your life, what did you want to manifest in your life, have a look at what you got over the last 11 years. So do an audit, and this is the perfect time now, coming up to the 11-11 portal and going into the 12-12 portal. Do an audit of the last 11 years and the different areas of your life, from your own body, your health, your relationship with your physical, your mental, your emotional, your spiritual health. Look at your love relationship. Look at your career, your sense of purpose in the world, your relationship with your money, your friends, your family. What did you want for yourself? Your lifestyle, your overall lifestyle. What was that you were calling in at the time? What did you really desire? Again, not necessarily were conscious of it. You may have been unconsciously wishing that to be. And then look at what you've got. Look at what you have experienced over the last 11 years in all those areas of your life. And look at what showed up for you, look at what showed up for you, and look at what wounds may have been there. Let me explain. I'm going to give you 2 examples of mine. I'm just going to have a sip of tea right now because my throat's getting a bit dry. Oh, this is a lovely fresh mint. It's actually mint and orange. I don't actually taste the orange, but it's a beautiful minty tea. Right, so I was going to say to you the 2 examples. I'm going to give you 2 stories that happened to me. The one story was I was working in, I was employed at the time in an organization, and I wanted to be self-employed. And I wanted to do the work of the healer. You know, I was called very strongly to follow the path of the shaman, follow the shaman's way. And I really, really felt a strong calling to do this work. And so in 2011, I was really calling in the vision for myself. And within, it was within just under a year, really, I had that vision. 100% had that vision. I left the business world. I employed myself. I started working as a shamanic practitioner, and I started teaching classes, and then one thing led after another. So that started happening for me in 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, etc. It all just it's grown over the years. And I've remained aligned to that. And yes, there's been obviously ebbs and flows and ups and downs, but I've pretty much been aligned to that path, and I'm continuing on that path. The second example I want to share with you is I wanted to call a love relationship into my life at the time, and I did that as well. This is how powerful that time was. It was literally everything showed up for me. And what I got in that love relationship was everything in opposition, actually, to show me where I was out of alignment so that I could actually have the love relationship that I was desiring. So the difference between those 2 stories is that the one where there were not many woundings in place, preventing me from having the thing that I wanted to manifest, which was my work vision. There weren't many woundings there, and therefore it's all been, with barring the ebbs and flows and the normal ups and downs, it's been like a forward progressive expansion, right? And when I look at me with relationships, there were obviously many wounds in place that I had internally, and I needed to go through all those wounds, and I needed to understand where my wound of separation was to do with me in intimate relationships. And therefore, I attracted somebody into my life at that time who was basically going to show up, and he was going to show me everywhere that I was out of alignment in myself. which caused huge pain, huge heartache, huge trauma for myself. But I needed that in order for me to drop, to feel into the wounds that were going on in myself. And so this is how I'm trying to explain, when we want something, if it shows up in the opposite, all it's doing is it's showing you where you are out of alignment with that thing that you're wanting. And so, sorry, I just need to blow my nose. Getting rid of all of the energy of that relationship, probably. Talking about it. So yeah, these are the two different areas or two different stories that can maybe shed a bit of light into how manifestation works. So right now, we're 11 years later and we are 22. So we are double magnified where we were at 11. See? Therefore, what Spirit were telling me at the time is you take everything from 11, 11, 11, maybe have a journal, go back and have a look, or just think in your mind, like, what were you wanting? Bring it into the present and do an audit. Is that still applicable for me? Do I still want that in my life? Are those the feelings? Is that the lifestyle? Is that the type of person I want to be with? Is that really the career, the purpose that still feels in alignment with me? How can I refine? How can I distill it? This is a time of refinement, distilling, because we're going into magnification. So, because we're going into magnification, it is vital that we are super clear on precisely what it is that our soul desires and that is right for our soul. Because this is another trick with law of attraction. You can manifest anything that you want, but is that actually right for you? I can give so many examples of where this has gone wrong for me, where I manifested a home, a beautiful home with big windows and views and airy and palatial. But actually, I realized I need a mixture. I need something that's beautiful, big, airy, but I also need areas where I can be introverted on my own. I can close up. I can be in like a cave-like space. So be very careful about now, 11, 11, 22, be very careful about what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're envisioning, what you're talking about, what you're thinking about, what you're dreaming about, what you're wishing for yourself. Because it's magnified, the same energy, 22. And of course, 11, 11, 11, and 11, or 11, 11, any year, 11, 11, you will find a lot of people are going to be talking about twin flame. Personally, for me, my twin flame journey has been my internal journey with myself and re-establishing the connection to both the masculine and the feminine within my own being, the non-duality, my own love relationship, my own beloved self. So, because 1111 is about twin flame energy, and we're looking at manifestation and the magnification of it, look into your own masculine and feminine being and look at where does that feel out of alignment. There is a video on my channel about this. I think it's the equinox. I'll put a description below, but it's the equinox video that I was explaining about twin flame and your own duality and how to work with your masculine and feminine to bring it into balance. But we need that to be in balance. The more in balance we are, the clearer we are going to be about what our innate truth and essence is and what is truly right for us. Okay? Not based on distortion, not based on past events, not based on wounds, not based on what we're thinking might be right for us, but actually based on what we know, what our soul knows is right for us. Okay? So 11:11, 12:12, use that time to do it with, if you can, go together with, do it together with friends. Because when you come together as in a group, it magnifies your vision for you. You know, like I was explaining, 11:11:11, I was doing my shamanic practitioner training, and we came together, and we were actually in London at the time at the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival in London. And we drummed a ceremony there. Now remembering back to that, we were drumming, and there was a ceremony around the 11:11:11. And this was one of the events that were being held around the globe to really call in this new consciousness, this new world. So when people come together, the minds that are joined, thoughts that are joined, become bigger and more expansive, and it holds a bigger field of energy. And so when we're working with law of attraction and manifestation, it's very, very powerful to do that in groups. So even if it's just with one other person, maybe sit with them and kind of go through all the areas of your life. What do you want? And the way that you do that is you look at your vision, what it is that you really, really want. Go into a deep meditation around that. Still your mind. Please get away from what you think is right for you. Feel it. There is also another journey on my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description. It's called, I think, Journey to Reclaim Your Power. It's the one with the picture of the owl on it. But basically that one is going to, I take you through a thing, and then you have a chance in that journey to envision all the areas of your life. But basically you get clear on your vision. Then you feel into, well, are there any blocks to that vision? Are there any blocks? Do I feel like I'm unworthy of having the relationship? Do I feel like nobody's going to listen to me if I want to be self-employed? Blah, blah, blah. We have all these old records, old stories going on. They're ancestral, they're childhood wounds. They are all things stuck in the past to keep us small. So we look at blocks, and you can do that through deep meditations, or you can do that through even going to a healer or somebody who's going to support you to uncover any blocks to your vision. And then, very importantly, you look at an action plan, because it's all very well. We have this idea of what it is that we want to manifest, and we're going to create this future for ourselves. But are you taking any action? Are you buying that lottery ticket to win the lottery, or are you just thinking about it and waiting for it to fall out of the sky? So it's very much about bringing it into the body, embodying it, taking action. What are the 3 steps that you need to take, 3 to 5 steps that you need to take in order for you to begin to manifest that vision? And then you let it go. And daily you can just feel into that. It's really going to be about feeling it, because of course the soul is all about feeling. The soul is about feeling. So you feel, what does it feel like to be in a relationship? What does it feel like to wake up next to your beloved every morning, to eat dinner with him or her in the evening? What does it feel like to be totally in your purpose, to be doing the work that you absolutely love doing? What does it feel like, look like? What's the texture of that? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? You can create mood boards, and it's fun because you get to be the creator of your own life. You are co-creating, and that has been taken away from us. That autonomy, that sovereignty has been stripped away from us through our conditioning and through what other people have told us is right or wrong for us. So go for it. Do all this. Create this vision for yourself and allow yourself to receive. Keep your heart open. Keep bringing your awareness back to your heart. Stay humble with this, because also with law of attraction, sometimes we think that we are so powerful We can have anything that we want. We can do anything that we want. We kind of take on a bit of a God complex. That's also can be a big issue and a big problem when we are working with law of attraction and manifestation. Don't take on the God complex. Stay humble. Stay in your humility. Give appreciation. Give thanks every day. And if you don't believe in God, or if you don't believe in a higher power, give thanks to something. Just thank you, because, I still remain small, even though I'm great. I still remain small, even though I know I'm great. There is this beautiful saying, oh my gosh, I don't remember it exactly now. Something like, love tells me that I am everything, and love tells me that I'm nothing, and in between, wisdom, no. Love tells me that I'm everything, wisdom tells me that I am nothing, and in between the two is where I reside. You're everything and you're nothing. You're everything and you're nothing. Ultimately, you are love. Ultimately, you are life. You are part of creation. And you have the ability and the power to create and co-create the very life that you want. So do that now. If you can, come together and do that with your friends around this time, 11/11, 12/12. And let's all live the life that we were born to live and be in our power. Sending you so much love. Can't wait to hear how you all get on. Send me comments. Let me know. We'll speak soon. Namaste. Bye-bye.